Live from a wellness center near you, it's the Healthy Habits Wellness Update!
Welcome back to the Healthy Habits Wellness Update. I'm your host, Angie, and sitting in with me today is my co-host, Steven.
That's right, Angie. And this week we will be discussing dining out.
Yes, we are. Dining out doesn't have to be an unhealthy decision. The key is to learn certain tips that will help you decipher the menu so you can make really good choices.
And today, we have prepared a slideshow for your viewing pleasure. So, I'm very excited to hear the tips you have for us, Angie.
So am I, so let's get to it.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I love going out for the evening to one of my favorite restaurants. A night off from cooking and washing dishes, letting someone else wait on you, and the atmosphere of the restaurant makes for a great evening with my friends and family. I know I have a lot of dining out in my future plans, so I really want to make sure that I know how to order correctly to stay on track with my healthy lifestyle. I can't wait to share some of these tips with you. Dining out is a part of life, and having an active social life is just as important to a healthy lifestyle as eating a healthy, balanced diet. It might be tricky, but with a little willpower and some helpful tips, you'll learn how to read and understand the menu and order without feeling guilty about your decisions or going out to eat. Your first step is knowing the giveaway terms on the menu. You'll find these in the title of the dish or the description of how it is prepared. Let's go over the list so we know what to look for. Good terms are steamed, broiled, baked, roasted, boiled, wine sauce, grilled, stir-fried, and poached. Bad terms are fried, sautéed, batter-tipped, creamed, cream sauce, cheese sauce, marinated in oil, special sauce, and crispy. At a restaurant, we usually always have the option of starting with an appetizer. A good thing to remember is that you will most likely meet or exceed your caloric intake with just the entree. So, if you are choosing to start with an appetizer, you'll want to keep your calories low. Good choices would include a vegetable-based soup, steamed seafood, edamame, or a tray of fruit and vegetables. You should avoid things like fried appetizers, cheesy appetizers, or creamy appetizers. A lot of restaurants offer a bread or a chip basket upon being seated at your table. Remember, the time of day is important when we eat our starchy foods. So, if it is after 3 p.m., you would do better just to avoid it. If you just have to have some, make sure to limit to one serving. That's like a slice of bread or about 10 tortilla chips. Then have the waiter remove the basket from the table. Good choices are whole grain and rye options. Stay away from things like scones, pastries, and white breads. Alcoholic beverages are often the source of many additional calories, and they can have a major effect on the weight management results during the week. Alcohol can insulate your fat cell for 3 days after consumption and really slow down your weight loss efforts. Let's look at some examples. 6 ounces of wine is equal to 120 calories. 12 ounces of beer, 146 calories. 6-ounce screwdriver is equal to 150 calories. A 6-ounce tequila sunrise, 210 calories. And an 8-ounce margarita is 400 calories. You can cut down by switching to seltzer, sparkling water, Italian soda, or an iced or hot tea. Salads can be the source of a lot of hidden fat and calories. I know a lot of restaurants that I've been to show the calorie level right in the menu. I've seen salads reach over 1,400 calories for a meal. One really good tip is to order your salad dressings and cheeses on the side. Some other good tips: beware of high-fat extras like bacon, cheese, cold cuts, and mayonnaise-based salads. Always try to avoid the crusts or shells that some salads are served in. Now to the entree, your main portion of your meal. The big thing is to make sure that you watch for those giveaway terms when ordering your main dish. Always try to choose your meat dishes in a portion size of 6 ounces or less. Remember that your actual portion size for your meal plan is only 3 to 4 ounces, so you'll want to cut some down and take some for later. Choosing fish or poultry items will help you have less fat and calories. Ask your server to prepare and serve the entree without butter, margarine, sour cream, or cheese topping. Order all of your sauces on the side. Stay in contact and communicate with your server. Ask how your meal is prepared. Order double portions of vegetables to replace rice or potatoes. Desserts can make or break a meal. And remember, you've probably already used up the majority of your caloric intake for that meal at your entree. Sidestep high-calorie desserts by choosing fresh fruit or sorbet, or end your meal with a cup of decaf coffee or some herbal tea. Now, join me back at the news desk for more tips on dining out. Stephen will be joining me. I hope you will find these tips very helpful in the next time you decide to eat a meal out.
That was some really great information. Now we'd like to share just a few more tips to ensure success on your next restaurant visit.
That's right, Stephen. I know a lot of us are programmed to finish everything on our plate. Please remember that restaurants serve things in a much larger portion than we're supposed to eat, so it's helpful to remember that you don't have to finish everything on your plate.
That's right. I find it helpful to actually divide my meal in half. I can share a meal with a friend, or I can take it home for a later meal.
That's a great idea. I know sometimes I'm really tempted if my food is just still sitting in front of me, so I'll ask the waiter to box up half of my food before he even serves it. That'll eliminate a lot of the temptation.
Another great idea is to also research before dining out. Most of the chain restaurants actually have their menu and nutrition labels online.
And with this information, I can choose my meal ahead of time before I even arrive at the restaurant.
That's right. To be even more careful, after you choose your meal from the online menu, write it down. And when you arrive at the restaurant, don't ask for a menu. You may be tempted by something else in the menu that catches your eye.
That's a great idea. You know, sometimes I like to have a little something before I even leave for the restaurant, so that I'm not feeling really hungry when I get there. A half an apple with a glass of water is perfect to fill me up, so I'm not starving at the restaurant.
Perfect. And now we know some great tips on dining out and staying healthy. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that dining out is an excuse to cheat on their plan.
That's right, Stephen. This idea always leads to feelings of guilt and lack of energy the next day. Don't let yourself fall into this excuse.
Well, that was a great class this week. We look forward to having you join us again next week.
We sure do. The topic next week is one of my favorites, personal development.
Thank you for joining us today, and we will see you next time. This is Stephen.
And this is Angie.
For Healthy Habits, signing out.